Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Maniacs. Here we go again. It's going to be a wonderful day. Man, we're going to cut this one a little early today. You guys won't see it until Tuesday. We're Monday night, so that means Monday night football's happening. But we're still going to cover what we can and then also give you guys picks for the week and college picks. So let's start off with just little two highlights here from last week. I don't know if you caught the performance by Barkley for the Eagles,
He basically turned around and farted on somebody in
but in
midair.
the air.
Yes.
Wow. Uh, Jalen Hurts definitely putting up some points, but that's because he's rushing and throwing. He did have two passing touchdowns this time, not all rushing. Um, Devontae Smith, a little one-handed catch. Still not as impressive as the Garrett Wilson catch on Thursday, but they're in the same category. Uh, Joe Burrow finally warming up. Looked really good. And Chase Brown staying steady for a running back. I mean, it seems like they ain't even lost a step with him.
I'm really growing. Like, I might actually, before the deadline, try to go get Chase Brown.
Yeah, he's definitely doing good. Uh yeah, so they fired the Saints head coach.
Finally.
That was coming. Wonder who that guy's gonna be next. And looking at this, I mean, you got the
I mean, when
Jets.
you get, I mean, when you get beat by Bryce Young, you deserve to be fired.
That is some truth to it. I was actually surprised at the victory over the Texans. The Texans literally like struggled. I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I know he doesn't have all his wide receivers, but I mean, he still threw six receptions to Tank Dell. He had 126 yards. He just never got any across the goal line.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, nobody really talks about the Jets' defense because you know of Aaron Rodgers and all that, but Jets' defense are actually pretty decent.
yeah, they are. They are. And your top wide receiver coming out of Atlanta still is the guy that you've been putting all your hopes and money on, Mooney. Pick up definitely. I mean, there's been a couple dead years for him, and now he's lit up. And that's what I tell people. They go, well, how did they light up? Wide receivers do that. A lot of wide receivers jump back and forth, back and forth. So it's like you never know when they're going to hit. It's some you do and some you don't. It's like there's going to be a day we're going to talk about Devontae Smith a little bit more. Right now, he's playing behind AJ Brown. He has his moments. He doesn't have a lot, but he is one of them wide receivers, still young enough to still have his 2 years of fabulous football scoring, and I don't think we've seen it yet. Uh, I'm just glad to see J.K. Dobbins still staying healthy, and maybe it was the curse of the Ravens. I mean, maybe that whole running back room until Derrick Henry got there was always injured, and now Derrick Henry's there. You never see him injured, but the old crew that used to get injured all the time are staying healthy. So it's like once they got to a new environment, it wasn't like I don't know what the difference is. Definitely something different, but the numbers are looking good.
Yeah, I think it's just the Ravens' training field is what's destroying everyone's on there.
Yeah, and the only thing I didn't look up on is to see when Puka Nuka got ejected from the game for punching. I wasn't sure if that happened in the third quarter or fourth quarter. I have to look that up. Or
It
was it
happened.
the?
It actually happened pretty early.
Oh, it did. So he's going to actually get to play in the next game, or is he going to be out the complete game?
I think he'll be suspended. I think they'll sit him out for a release like the first half,
Yeah,
and then they'll. I think then they'll bring him back in.
but there was a pushing match going on, anyways. Them two were already kind of getting at each other. So tonight's game is the Buccaneers and the Chiefs. They should be kicking off shortly. Uh, it's going to be an interesting game to watch tonight. I definitely know that. So I'll be dialed in. A lot of your fantasy leagues right now are be cutting off trades. Some won't. Some do it week 11. Some do it week 10. Some don't do it at all. But most of them do it week 10 and 11. So around that time, a lot of your fantasy leagues don't let trades happen anymore. So if you guys need to get a trade done, your deadline, if it's this week, would be Monday night. I mean, because after Monday night football, your league should automatically set where it doesn't draft no more. Like you can't trade no more.
All I need is 6 points in my league, and I can have victory this week. And
Uh,
I got Nick Bolton playing, so I feel pretty good about those odds.
oh yeah, I would feel good with Nick Bolton as a defensive player playing. He's high potential scoring. Um, yeah. So it also going into week 10. Can't believe we're already here. Week 10. This is just crazy. We're talking about week 10. I
We
mean,
already passed the halfway mark.
yeah. So we got 4 teams going on by next week. Listen up, folks. You got the Browns, the Packers, the Raiders, which not much going on there, and the Seahawks. I didn't say that loud enough. There was not much going on over there. So
Oh, I heard you loud and clear the first time.
I just want to make sure everybody out there heard me. It's the Packers I'd worry about. If you had any of the
Oh,
Packers guys, you
oh,
definitely want to have.
you were speaking to the people in the back. Gotcha.
Yeah, the Raiders. Uh Maybe the Browns too, but no, the Browns are looking pretty good. What would you
Who's worse, the Raiders or the Saints?
right now, I don't know. With Carr coming back, we should see a swing in things. Carr was winning up until he got hurt. Um, but it seems like it's kind of like a debacle when he come back. It ain't like full like what we seen in the beginning of the season. So I don't know what to make of it. I tried to watch some of the game, and I was like
Well,
kind of confused to what I seen at the beginning of the season to what I'm seeing now. It's not the same.
he doesn't have Rashid Shaheed, which he liked to throw to, and then now Chris Olave, he had
Got
that
hit again.
hit again, so there's no telling when he's coming back. So it kind of looks murky.
And honestly, when you watch that play, I think that could have been avoided. I think them 3 players that jumped up there and grabbed that like they did, I honestly believe that could have been avoided. I mean, he had to catch. They could have all pulled off. They didn't have to go into it and hit it.
Yeah, but all defensive players, they get a little juice in them,
Yeah,
get a little juice from the fans and stuff. They take their emotions way too high, and sometimes they overreact on it, and
yeah,
you
and
see things like that.
yeah. And before I go any further, the post that I just got was Taylor Swift has arrived at Arrow Stadium prior to the Monday Night Football event.
God,
So that's definitely important. I don't know how to say how important it is, but to me, I feel like it's the whole pivotal thing of the game.
we'll see. The Chiefs have already won then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They already won. It's already been given to them. So moving on, we know who the bye week is. So we're going to go right into our pick'ems today. It's going to be like a quick. I mean, I got things going on. Austin's got things going on, but we didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So we wanted to cover the pick'em for week 10. So you guys had that. So starting off with, you got Thursday's night game coming up, which is 2 hot teams on fire. I
They
mean,
did good. They did good on scheduling this on Thursday night.
yes, this will be a Thursday night game you need to tune into. I am tuning into this Thursday night game. You got the Bengals and Baltimore playing. So I would definitely got it. Well, this is tough. They what are they
I'm,
giving? They're giving the Bengals the 5. No, they're giving Baltimore.
I'm gonna let you pick first.
Oh man.
I'm giving you the hard choice first.
I'm gonna have to go with the Ravens. I just can't. I can't. I can't see it going any other way. But I'm gonna tell you right now, on my pick'ems this year has been horrible. So I could probably totally get that wrong. I did pick Texans to beat the Jets, and I got that one wrong. Uh,
so so I know they play the Raiders and the Raiders aren't that good, but the Ravens, they also played. Who do they play? Hang on, let me look real quick. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, they just demolished the Broncos. but I see it being a shootout between these two teams.
Oh, I do too. I believe we're going to see a high score.
I see a high score, but I'm going with you. I'm going to have to lean towards the Ravens. Oh, this is an awful game next.
Yes, it is. So,
Can we
on
just pick
fantasy
them
side,
off?
anybody should have common sense. You need to be starting Chase Brown. You need to be starting Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. All them guys are looking good. The next game is oh my God. Do we have to even talk about this game? It's like,
I told you it was a bad game.
all right, let's on this game here, we're going to talk about the Giants and the Panthers. Okay, I'm going to take the Giants on this. Then I'm going to open it up and we're going to look on the fantasy side of it. I'm going to tell you
Start
who you should play. You
start
definitely
Tyrone Tracy.
uh Tracy, I would be playing Tracy.
Yeah, play Tyrone Tracy.
Tracy, Tyrone Tracy, and then also um
You know what?
Hubbard.
I wouldn't even be mad if you even started Theo Johnson after last week's game.
Theo Johnson, yeah. Yeah, because I mean he could actually put up some points.
Oh, he put up some points last week. He was actually finished as a tight end 5 last week.
Yeah, Adam Thiem's out on IR, so don't be starting him.
Xavier Leggett. If you
He's
need
questionable, but he put up some numbers
he
last week, so yeah, I would definitely play him.
he is questionable, but I still see him playing.
You know, he turned out to be a lot better than Mingo.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you know how much hype went into Mingo when he came out into fantasy. I mean, there was a lot of people driving him.
I didn't believe it.
Yeah, I thought they made a mistake. I thought this was DJ Moore, but it's another Moore on here. It's David Moore. So I was like, did he leave the Bears and went back to Carolina? He's definitely not a
No,
start guy. He's got seven experience years, and he's like a backup. He did score 4 points last week, but it's nothing like you're going to jump up and down for. Um, yeah, I mean this game, Malik Neighbors,
all right,
definitely play him.
I'm going with Giants, and I'm done talking about
All right, that's good enough. All right. The next one is Patriots, Chicago Bears. Oh my God. Caleb Williams is questionable, but we know he's going to end up playing. I would have to actually go with the Bears. The Bears. I am going to pick the Bears.
the Bears.
The Bears. Got to make sure we get that in there.
I am definitely going with the Bears, even though Drake May did look pretty good yet last week or
So,
today.
doesn't Tyson Baggett only have like one more year contract with the Bears, and then he comes open to sign with any other team if he wanted to? I'm
I
just
believe
saying, he
so.
every time he comes in, he looks good as a backup quarterback.
I believe so, and I'm sure somebody will grab him as a backup
I mean,
quarterback.
as desperate as the league is for quarterbacks, I mean, he should become a high commodity as being such a good backup.
All right now.
I mean, all the other backups are failing, and this one ain't. So, I mean, if he's not failing, why wouldn't you go after him and at least try to grab something to maybe
I don't
help your
know.
team?
I mean, I don't think he'll do better than Joe Flacco.
Oh no, no, no. Flacco's a different level than he. I mean, he ain't the Flacco level yet. He's nowhere near that level yet. Um, I don't know. Have they made a call on Anthony Richardson? Is he still out or
Oh,
is he?
oh no, oh no. They done said that Joe Flacco is going to be the starter for the rest of the year.
Yep. I just am reading that now.
So I know what game, yeah, the next game, but I'm honestly going with the Bills.
You're gonna go with the Bills.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So if you guys ain't paying attention and you ain't figured it out by now, you should be benching Anthony Richardson.
I would say though in Dynasty I would still keep him.
I would put him on my
Uh,
bench and see what all plays
I,
out.
I would still keep him because they're still willing to work with him. They said they have not gave up on him, and I think this is actually a smart move on their part. Joe Flacco is the win now mode, but at the same time, Anthony Richardson can sit on the bench and he can learn under Joe Flacco and become smarter and better coming out next coming year. I think this is going to really help Anthony Richardson in the long haul.
I believe so too. I kind of agree with you. Minnesota over Jacksonville. Let's make that quick. Minnesota. Bam.
Yeah,
Vikings going to tear that tail up.
and start basically anybody on Minnesota. Sam Darnold, start him.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, start him.
This
Jordan
is
Addison, start him. Aaron Jones, start him. Even
it,
T.J. Hawkinson, start him.
it's hard to believe I had a Sam Arnold on my team and I gave him away for nothing.
Well, you didn't know though.
Yeah. Well, I knew I gave up on Bo Nix after 3 weeks. I didn't even give the fourth week around, and I wish I hadn't now.
All right, so here's another one. Here's something else. If you're the Jacksonville Jaguars and you've seen the running backs after 10 weeks, who would you give the starting running back job to?
I would give it to Tanks Bigsley at this time, but then I'm also worried about him. I'll be like, I need someone else out of the draft to help bolster that room because he has his hit and misses too. But
Right. I
to,
Tank Bigsby just looks better to me.
he does to me too, even when he's not playing good. So I mean,
Well, I mean, they were playing a really tough team last week, so
yeah, it's a lot harder to run against.
yeah, definitely.
But you know, the coach from the Eagles almost cost that game just by some of the calls and the plays. What I don't know what he's thinking, what he's trying to prove, but that game should have been easily won,
Dude, he
easily
must have.
handled. But he overjudged a lot of things, I think, and did things he shouldn't have. Unnecessary risk
He
is
must
what
have
I
took
would say.
he must have took a bunch of Adderall and chugged some pre workout before he went out there.
No, what he did is he got on Twitch and watched the Crabtree edition of college football and realized, oh, he's been playing it wrong the whole time, and he was going to go out there and be aggressive. And then guess what? It almost backfired just like it does for him. So it's like a channel you stay off of, that college football channel that's on there that's ridiculous, like 6 interceptions in a game and 2 point conversions and only get one of them out of six. I mean, at least a try. Uh, Hey, let me tell y'all, I won a game in college football and I had no interceptions and I was thrilled to death. I won 14-7 to a group called the Pandas that ain't even a team. It was an FCC team that they created.
That's hilarious.
That's like a Minto commercial right there. All right. All right, so let's get back to the thing here. Denver over Kansas City. I will pick Denver, and I'm gonna tell you a little sneaky person you might want to put in there and play this week, and that's Estamine. So we're gonna start seeing a pickup of him.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Payton did say they were going to increase his workload.
Yes, they're gonna start cutting back Williams and the other guy and put him in. He just come off IR. Well, he's been off for 2 weeks, but I think they're warming him up.
I'm sorry, but I'm still going to go with the Chiefs.
Oh, I'm going with the Chiefs. I don't think that's going to change the game. I'm saying for fantasy relevant, if you have him on your bench, you need a flex player, throw him in there.
I would definitely make sure you start Cortland Sutton.
Oh, definitely. Court Sutherland's been really pulling it out. And just to let you know, Patrick Mahomes just completed the 32-yard pass to Xavier Worthy, which is the game's underway.
Oh, wait.
Woo! Live as we talk, I'm just throwing stuff out there like, whoa, wait a minute. Why did you just say that? All right.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned something about that because now I'm going to have to put it on my phone now.
All right.
Or
Atlanta versus
okay.
New Orleans. That's an easy hit. Kirk Cousin gang. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Atlanta. Falcons all the way. I think you guys have a championship run. If you don't do it this year, you're never going to do it. You guys are going
Yeah,
to be the upsets of the Chiefs.
I'm gonna have to go to Atlanta.
Okay, I thought if you were going to say the Saints, I was going to have to take you off to the corner and have a little conversation with you.
I'll have I'll have plenty of conversations with you, no matter where it is.
I know you will. San Francisco and Tampa Bay. I'm gonna let you pick first.
I know which way your heart wants to go.
I know, but my heart's not going
I know
there.
which way your heart wants to go, but in all honesty, there's actually a chance that Christian McCaffrey comes back this week.
Well,
I've done saw reports where, there's actually a over 50% chance of him coming back this week. So even if he doesn't come in, I'm still gonna go with the 49ers. But if he does come in, then that's just a smash right there because they're gonna use him like they usually do when he gets back on the field.
yeah, and I think all the wide receivers for Tampa Bay is still out and hurt. I mean, the wide receiver group is nothing. Yeah, they're not even listed. So you're looking at Shepard, Palmer, Jarrett, uh, Tucker's been running pretty good. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go with San Francisco on that. I can't. I'm sorry, guys. All right, here comes a wild one. Pittsburgh Steelers against the Washington Commanders, and I think they should change it back to the Redskins just to be saying anything.
Oh
And
no, I agree with you. I agree with you.
if they did that, I'd go out and buy me a Redskin jacket right now.
Okay, I'm not going that far.
Oh, okay. Well, you got other reasons I don't. Just do it. But
Okay,
Jaden
well,
Daniels, Jaden Daniels, yeah, that's a win for them. They are going to shut down that Pittsburgh Steelers stuff. That's going to be a special game. I know the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is hot, and they are. They're dominating. You got TJ Watt. The Watt brothers are just something special in itself. We don't need to get into that whole subject. They just work me up every time I talk about them. They're not like my Bozas.
they're getting you all hot and bothered.
Definitely. So yeah, I just think Jaden Daniels, whatever he does, it's magic, and magic is here. So I'm going with
Well,
the magic.
well, this is the first time I disagree with you tonight, and I'm gonna get you all hot and bothered. And I'm gonna go with Russell the Love Muscle at Pittsburgh.
Wow. Okay. Okay, whatever. Go ahead and go with them Pittsburgh people. Just remember, Justin Fields ain't starting. It's Russell Wilson. This is the time he flips and does that other stuff.
Russell Wilson is 2-0 so far, so
Yeah, that's
oh,
true. All right, let's go to another game. Oh my God. Yeah, there should be a lot of tears in this game.
I'm
Uh
going with the Chargers. Let's just go ahead and say it.
yeah, I was going with the Chargers right off the bat. I was gonna have to say I gotta play with the hard balls. Uh
Well, I thought. Never mind. I'm gonna shut up.
yeah. We don't even gonna play about our balls now.
Well,
But
well, Tennessee though, you definitely need to start Tony Pollard.
yes,
He's
Tony
actually
Pollard's your guy. Spears is out right now.
pretty good.
Yeah, and he's taking mainly the whole running back room. So yeah, I would definitely put him in.
Uh, Here's one that you can start. He's actually been kind of consistent here the last 3 games. Uh, Nick Westbrook Akine.
Okay. Yeah, I could get on with that.
I think you should, if you really need a flex spot or something because of the bye weeks, I would, definitely take my shot on him.
Yes, because when Ridley ain't clicking, he is. So yeah, I would definitely ride on that. Um, another standout is Spears out. No, he's still out. We know Will Levis ain't running the quarterback. It's Randolph.
You
No, he
should.
returned. He's hopefully to return. Oh, bless you guys. Um, I wouldn't be hopeful about him returning anyways. Uh, yeah, I wouldn't play him if I had him. I would be afraid to put Will Levis in
I think
anyways.
I think it wouldn't hurt if people start Quentin Johnston either. especially after that bomb touchdown last week. He was 4 out of 5. He was targeted 4 times, or he actually was targeted 5 times, and he caught 4 of them for
Right.
100 yards and 1 touchdown. So that's a pretty good game against the Browns defense.
All right. The next one is the New York Jets against Arizona. I'm going to go with this too much. I'm going with Arizona because there's too much happiness going for the Jets. They got to fail this week. Just that's it's a rotation.
Aaron Rodgers is all about the vibes.
Yeah, his vibes fixed to quit. You ever go to Arizona? My vibe's cut off. No, I mean,
uh,
I have to go Arizona. Who you going with again? You said New York Jets.
I'm going with Arizona.
You know, Benson's starting to look pretty decent. I just wish he'd get more of the polls over Connor, but that's not going to happen as long as Connor stays healthy.
No, he's gonna have to get hurt in order for that to
Yeah,
happen.
but
Because he ran all over the Bears defense.
oh, he's run all over all of the defenses. It's just when he gets injured, it's like, but then he's such a hard runner. That's why he gets injured. You know, we talked
Dang.
about this last year. We talked about that him, and we talked about Zach Ertz because that used to be the two players at Arizona. Zach Ertz stayed hurt, but once he got hurt and Trey McBride came in, they seen how great McBride was. They got rid of Hurts. You know, honestly, watching Connor play, I don't know if they would just give up on Connor immediately. I think they would probably hold out a year or two because it just seems like Connor still has that steam. But I might be wrong. You never know with running backs. It could be the next year you're gone.
You want to know who's another who's a great tight end?
Who's that?
Uh, he's actually playing with Laser Mayfield, and that's Kate Otten. Them two, Kate Otten is really cooking right now.
Oh yes, yes.
But anyways, I saw him make a fabulous catch, and he's also on one of my dynasty teams, so it made me ticklish inside. So
All right, this next game is going to be tough for you and me both to pick. And let me
I really,
explain this and walk through everybody.
I'm going Eagles.
I'm just making sure the
Dude,
wall didn't fall down on me. I mean,
look, I would like if this was last year, yeah, I would have a different argument. But this year we suck, so
yeah,
I'm
and then
going.
you guys lost Dak Prescott, and then you also is he out or is he going to come back?
No, Dak is actually probably going to miss a couple of weeks.
Ugh.
And not to mention CD Lamb, he kept forcing himself back in the game, even though he was hurt with a shoulder injury. So there's no
Yeah.
telling about him either. And Jerry Jones, he doesn't want to get any better. So he's like, no, we're not going to make any trades to make our team better. We're just going to continue to suck until the end of time.
Yeah.
So
You don't hear the running water, do you?
mm-mm.
Okay, good.
No, I thought you were talking about me. I'm running water.
I know. I had some water running in the background. I didn't know if we could hear it.
Oh no, I didn't hear it.
I can't hear it in my headphones, so I knew it was probably okay, but I just want to make sure.
Uh,
But
gotcha.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, I know they say Barkley's questionable, but he's going to be there. He's questionable for the last couple weeks.
You just quit farting on people's heads. You don't need to be
Yeah,
jumping that high, farting on people's heads.
that was a beautiful like I mean, when he ran and spin the first time and went to go spin the second time, how did he sense someone behind him? I have no idea, but he just sprung into the air. And did you see AJ's Brown reactions? Like they're shaking like
Yeah,
that just happened. I mean, you don't
I think
see that.
I think New York made the biggest mistake.
Oh, I
Like,
know New York made the biggest mistake, but you know, New York didn't have enough to like, even with him doing as good as he did, it's like if he had a bad off step, they would have nothing to help his off step, where Philadelphia does. I mean, he's building that Philadelphia team better than I think Jalen Hurts. He is now the pivotal point of the team, I believe. And the fan base is going for it because you got to think about it. That fan base is a big Penn State fan base there in Pennsylvania. So they were already fans of Barkley. They hated that he went to New York. Now he's at the Eagles home, and a lot of the Penn State fans that are Eagles fans, they're like, just the I don't know how to explain it, but they're in awe. They're like, oh my God, we got like the greatest running back of all times, but they don't. Let's not get that hyped up about it. The greatest is actually at San Francisco 49ers. And before him was Walter Payton. So, oh, and let's not forget about Emmett Smith because I don't care what anybody says. That was a man right there. I mean, I wasn't even a Dallas fan and I loved the Emmett. I mean, who didn't?
Oh yeah.
Emmett Smith was a man. Uh,
Oh yeah.
if I was old enough back then, I'd have probably had that man crush on him and not at Elliott. I mean, it's just,
Well, man, I don't blame you either.
yeah. All right. So the next game, let's get to the next game. Lions against the Houston. I think Lions are going to take it, even though that's going to break my heart, but it is what it is. I just believe they're going to be a more dominant team. Texans are going through their struggles right now. They don't have all their wide receivers. Also missing some of their old line. A lot of players out on the defensive side. So I just honestly think the Lions have more to give than what the Houston Texans have.
Yep, I agree. I'm going with the Lions. They're just a powerhouse, especially on offense right now. So it's going to be real interesting to see how Houston at least attempts to try to stop them.
And the next one, I am going to pick the Rams because they're another miracle team that no matter how many injuries they are plagued with, they're going to overcome and they're going to take out Miami. And I know Miami looked decent. I just don't see them going against that defense and winning against it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Rams are going to win. I mean, even whenever I guess if the Puka
Puka.
but with him and Cooper Cup there, I mean that's a totally different offense.
Yep. And I do not think it's good. I think it'll be under to project it. So I am going with 42
Oh, you gave him more than
against the Miami and LA.
I went 38.
You give them more. So they're projected total of 50 and a half. I went under. All right. So on the NFL side, just remember you got to sit the Browns, the Packers, the Raiders, and the Seahawks. A little tidbit. I wanted to ask some questions, and this is a little bit off base than what we normally do, but trades are happening. And they're happening because it's the end of the trade season. So everybody's trying to get what trades they can. And I had got a comment. They thought that I was being egregious. And I don't think I was being egregious. I think it was
Really?
well worth the thing. But wouldn't you be fine with just a first round pick for Baker Mayfield? Now, my reasoning behind this, yes, Baker Mayfield is a top scorer. He deserves a first rounder. I could have probably got a little extra for him.
Ah,
I could have like robbed somebody, but I was looking at my future base of what my team needs. I have two first rounders. I could get a clean first rounder with them and not have a debate about losing any of my other players because I didn't want to give up anybody else and I didn't want to make any more negotiations other than I just wanted to get the first round. I was fine giving away Baker. Now someone says, well, why can't you give a first round, just a first rounder for Barkley? I said, there's a difference between Barkley and Baker. The difference is this: Baker, yes, he is having a fabulous season this year. He had a fabulous season last year. His wide receivers that he had in fabulous years are finally deteriorating enough where now you see the Baker without the guys. It's not the Baker we were seeing prior. He is still holding up there in the scores and still doing well, but not as well as he was when he had Mike Evans and Godwin. Both of them guys are gone right now. So he is still surviving with his tight end, his running backs, and a few, luckily, some wide receivers that can catch the pass, but it's nothing as it was in the beginning of the season. So I do see that towards the end he will decline out of the top 10, but it's going to take a little bit for that to happen. That's just my honest opinion. I don't think he's going to be as good next year because he's going to lose one of them wide receivers. He's going to lose either Mike Evans or Godwin. Someone's going to sooner or later give. They're both injury prone. They're both older. They're both running through their things. I don't think it's going to be consistent. And on the other side of Barkley, I think we are seeing Barkley at the midpoint of his prime. And I honestly believe we're going to see another year like this, if not better. So I think Barkley's worth more than a first rounder any day, hands down.
Yeah, it also depends on how your league is set up too.
That is
Well,
true.
so take for instance, Superflex. Quarterbacks are more worth more.
Yeah,
But here's how I look at it. Here's something that was always a pet peeve of mine that kind of already is kind of like irritates me sometimes a little bit. So it's like the trade that just happened with the first rounder and Baker Mayfield. Okay, cool. And then you just said that, well, if he's worth that, how come you don't do that with Saquon? Well, here's the deal. This is two totally different trade conversations. I don't really necessarily like it when people, say, well, you're willing to do this for this, but why can't you do this for this? Well, we're in a totally different trade conversation. Now, if you want to talk about that player and what he's worth, then we need to stop talking about this guy we're trying to trade or this pick we're trying to trade, and we need to go have that other conversation. Let's not merge the two because that's totally two different. Because you can sit here all day compare this to this, but in my opinion, when I'm in a trade, I want to talk about this guy. Like I had a trade conversation. I think it was last month or something. We were, hashing out defensive players, and I was trying to explain defensive players. Some of them are actually, worth first rounders and two and stuff. But when I traded away Micah Parsons and Nick Bosa's, both of them for first rounders, he was like, well, you're willing to give up first rounders, or you're willing to trade them away for first rounds, but why can't you do, Kyle Hamilton, for like, for like a third rounder or something? I was like, that's two totally different trade conversations here. Like,
yeah.
and I tried telling him, and I tried telling the person, I was like, look, and I was like, even if he's a safety, if he's not a defensive end, he's the number. He's like in the top five as the top safeties in the league. And he's like, oh, I wouldn't do anything like that for a defensive end. I was like, well, I guess that's the reason why you're hurt. But the thing
So,
is, you have to separate it. You have to separate it because it's not fair to say Baker's worth this to this because it's all about the two conversations, like your conversation with that dude's conversation. In your eyes, Baker Mayfield is worth a first rounder, and apparently in his eyes, he believed the same thing. Now, somebody else down there in the field is not going to believe that, but you know what? They didn't make the deal anyway, so it shouldn't even matter. And Barkley is worth more than Baker Mayfield. I don't care if it is super flex or anything. He's worth more. And yes, you can. Barkley is worth a first and plus some. So if you're going to go after Barkley, you're going to have to pay high, especially with the way he's been playing this year. And I give him at least, what is he, like 26?
oh, he's higher than 26 now.
Oh, is he like 27?
Oh, he's in the top 20 for
What,
scoring.
what's his age? What's his age?
Oh, you're talking about his age.
What's his age? What's,
Oh,
what's
okay.
his age?
I don't know his age right off bat. I have to look it up. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, but I'm glad you said that too because that helps my argument. Now,
Barkley is, well, players it didn't even
he's
come up.
he's 27.
Yep.
He's 27. I get, and a lot of running backs, they start peaking around this time. But when you have those special talents, most of the times they can go surpass age 28 and still be good. I mean, look at Derrick Henry for crying out loud. He's 30
Christian
years old.
McCaffrey.
Yeah, they're both like 29, 30 years old, and Derrick Henry's still, trucking everybody like he's still like 20.
Yeah.
So Saquon, in my opinion, he's still got 3 good years, possibly 4, depending on what happens. Oh, well, if he keeps trying to, jump up and do backflips over people's heads and stuff, I don't know if he'll make it that long, but I would definitely give up. I would definitely give up a first rounder and something else, especially if you're trying to get Saquon. And the whole Baker Mayfield thing, I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't give up a first for Baker, but like I said, everyone has their own beliefs, and there's totally two different conversations with people. They believe different things, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. So let me give you another example
Okay.
when we get back to the defensive side. So I'm in one league. I'm at number 5. It's a dynasty.
Yeah.
But I'm struggling on my defense. So someone that's struggling altogether offers me Raekwon Smith and Altair Taylor from the Saints. And all he wants is picks. So he asked for a first rounder and a second rounder. For that trade, both of them players were well valued for that because Raekwon Smith, I definitely need it.
Right.
And Taylor, the last 2 seasons, in his second season, he's only 2 years into the NFL, he's averaging 16 to 15 points a game. So as a defensive back, he could his highest potential was 30 45, and his lowest score this year was 1480. So in that league.
Right.
So for me, someone that steadily scores, always available, very healthy. And then I look at a season before, he's the same way. 2 year rookie, a second rounder. I'm willing to throw that second rounder because I'm already midsection. I'm out to win. In this league, I have a shot at the playoffs. So if I know I'm weak in defense and I'm looking and I've already put it out there, I'm looking for defensive players and someone wants my first round and second round and they're giving me something of value that would definitely bolster my defense on top of my offense, then why wouldn't I take it? I mean, I got to walk away with that. And to me, the value is so great because now I have a strong defense with tier 1 level and a tier 3 level versus a defense. The highest level I had was a tier 3. So now I've now solidified my team. Maybe I can jump that fifth, go to fourth, third, and still compete in the top 6 teams.
Well, I mean, and it makes total sense in all honesty because you're trying to get in there. You're trying to push yourself to go higher, and you're trying to win a championship basically, and you're still in the cusp of trying to do that. So it totally makes sense. Now, if you were rebuilding, I would probably question it, but and especially in the situation you're in, I would.
Because I'm going out for the win.
That's perfect. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then
So
the
that's
other one where I gave Baker Mayfield away, I'm 2-6. I still need
okay.
build up.
So see, you're basically building for the future. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm still building for the future on that. I know there's no shot that I
that
have.
definitely makes sense.
So
And,
get a first rounder. Now I have 3 first rounders in that league with
and
Baker.
let me just say something real quick. It's crazy. I'm rebuilding in one of my dynasty leagues, and I've traded all these players away. I've got like four first round picks, but apparently the fantasy football guys doesn't want me to have the first overall pick because I am literally on a winning streak right now in that league that I'm supposed to be rebuilding.
And that's because of injuries. That's really what plays that out. So injuries could change
I'm,
a league's
I'm just saying.
dramatically. So I was ahead in one league. It was in our Stack'em league that we have, and I was dominant. I had even beat I had took out your dominant team that you had, and then all of a sudden I hit a losing streak because no matter how I do all my trading, everybody that was my star players are an IR. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I got a few players that are still surviving, but most of everybody is like, I got like 8 people on one team that's on IR. How do you have 8, 9 people on IR? I mean,
I mean,
And these are people you wouldn't drop. I mean, these are players. If you dropped them, someone's
I
going to pick
mean,
them up.
this is just how the season's been going.
So it is what it is. Well, two is back, so I got him back. And then Chris Olave, good God, I couldn't even say his name right.
Olave.
Olave, good God, I had it was on my tongue, but it rolled right off the wrong way. Uh, Olave, he's in and out right now with concussion, so he's been killing me in that league. So it's just been like a hit and miss. But hey, let's go ahead and knock this out. We're gonna roll over to the college proportion.
Oh, I did terrible last week.
I don't even remember what I did. One team you did pick right.
Oh yeah.
Just saying. Just
Well,
say
I
you
mean,
got one.
it got a little scary at one point in time.
No, it was just first quarter got scary. After that, it all went away. I mean, that was crazy. First quarter, they kicked a field goal. Ohio State got the ball back, and as soon as he got the ball back, Will Howard threw an interception, and they went for a pick six. And I'm thinking, I let me tell you guys, I had a beer cracked. When that happened, I covered the beer up, put it back in the refrigerator, and sat back down on my couch and kind of like said, I don't know if I'm ready to drink this one yet. Because I didn't know. At that point, when you went 10-0 in like just a minute of seconds, it was like, you know, I'm gonna hold off on the drinking until halftime, see if it's acceptable at that time, and because you don't want to be drinking when things are just that sour. So when everything started changing and we were like 14-10, I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and finish the beer now because I did open it. It's gonna ruin it. I mean, it's not good to open a beer, just sit it back in the refrigerator. So I finished it. I was about to be an alcohol abuser. Throw that stuff away. Uh, but yeah, that was crazy. I'm opening up our Pick'em app right now, our games app. Oh Lord, have mercy. Yeah, last week it was crazy. I'm doing good in the ESPN league. Oh no, I'm not. 3-5. That ain't no good.
Okay, I literally went the same.
Yeah, I beat Jeff's scary team. What a name. Jeff's scary team. Hello, hello, Jeff. Well, he's 3-5 too, so we're equal. All right, games. So last week I don't think I did that very well either. Let me see. Entries. My entries for week 10. I was 6-4. So I picked Ohio State, which was right. I picked Syracuse, which was right. Ole Miss was right. I was wrong on Illinois. I was right on Southern Eagles. I was right on the Iowa. You know that now. This is the next game I want to talk about that was messed up last week. College, Texas A&M and South Carolina Gamecocks. Did not see that unfold that way. I was expecting Texas A&M to go out there and handle their business and thing. The only defense that showed up was the hedge bushes there at the Gamecock Stadium, keeping the people from running across the field. That held up for a little bit longer than the actual Texas Aggies defense. So I'm just saying, it's a rough game to watch.
They used all
Colorado, huh?
they used up all that juice in the LSU game.
Yeah. And in the Colorado State Rams, they won them. And I'm gonna tell you another shocker that blew my mind was SMU Mustangs. Good God, what are we paying them players there? I mean, there's some money flowing because stuff don't happen like that from SMU, but they are handling their business in the ACC. Got one loss and they took down the undefeated Pittsburgh. So I was not expecting that. And then the Baylor Bears, every year when I pick the other team, I lose it. I don't know what it is about that pick. I never get it right, but it's such a rivalry. It's so hard to pick. When you got TCU against Baylor, it's like it's a coin toss. Any given, like that's one could be undefeated and the other one just tear the other one up. You know, it's crazy. All right, so week 11, here we go. Navy against South Florida. Navy.
Navy.
Syracuse against Boston College. I believe Syracuse will win that.
Syracuse.
Yeah. Georgia Bulldogs against Ole Miss. I'll have to go with them old Bulldogs. Don't want to chew on them, but I got to take it.
Yeah, I'm going with Georgia.
Yeah, we can't argue that. All right, so Army Knights still undefeated. They're going against the Green Mean Machine, North Texas. I honestly believe Army's going to handle their business with the North Green Team Machine. I don't think it's going to happen this week.
I think I'm going with Army.
All right. Iowa State against the Kansas City Jayhawks, the 2-6 against the 7-1. I am going to go with. Now that could be a toss-up because that's kind of like a rivalry game, but I'm going to still go with Iowa State.
Iowa State's doing too good. I'm going with them.
Clemson. Oh, I hate saying their words. Them Tigers. I'd rather talk about the Gamecocks than the Tigers. I'm not saying I'm favoring any team. I'm just more into the Gamecocks. Clemson
Yeah,
Tigers. Huh?
so yeah, you are.
Yeah. Cock-a-doodle-doo. I mean, I just ain't good at going, "Arr." It just doesn't work for me. So Clemson Tigers against the Virginia Tech Hokies. Uh, I want to say the other team, but I'm not. I got to go with Clemson Tigers. They're going to hold to their business.
Yeah, I'm going with Clemson as well.
How about old Dion's team? I almost called them something else, Buffaloes. I'm glad they didn't. Cockaloids, Buffaloes, or whatever. I mean, I was like, wow, what am I thinking about? The Colorado Buffaloes. Yeah, Texas Tech Red Raiders. That could be a good game, but I honestly believe the Buffaloes will handle their business. Colorado has that. Dion's got that. All right. Now,
Yeah,
I
I'm going with Buffalo.
the next game is hard for me to decide because I am actually kind of like I do like South Carolina a little bit over
I'm
everything.
I'm going Vandy.
I'm gonna have to go with the Vandy Belchers too because the way they've been playing and that quarterback, okay. Uh, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason why I like South Carolina, like they're like third on my list, is because my mother's from South Carolina. So it's like I got to root for one team there. I just can't go for Clemson. I like South Carolina over Clemson. Never liked the Tigers when I was there. I always liked the Gamecocks. They were just a better team in my opinion. And then Ohio, I'm from Ohio State. I will never tell you the Alabama team that I root for. Never. Can't tell you because some folks just pissed me off too much to say it. All right, so I will go with Vandy. Yeah, definitely. Oh, and we talk about the devil. Alabama against LSU. Woohoo! And my Tigers coming back. They're mad this time. They're growling. They got their tails handed to them by Texas A&M. They're out for blood. Alabama over there slip stepping every time they step on the field. Did they clean up their stuff on the bye week is a big question. I would honestly say no to that. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to go with the Tigers.
I'm actually going with Alabama.
Okay, roll Tide. Uh, I always knew you were a secret Tide fan. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm messing
Well,
with you.
you're the one that said it. I never said it,
I know, but we got to get it off of me and put it on you now, okay?
but it's still on you though.
I forgot about that conversation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
How about them Utes against the Cougars? Utes are not doing that hot this season.
I'm going
Cougars are on a
Cougars.
roll. So
I'm
I'm
going
going to go
Cougars.
with the Brigham Young Cougars.
I'm going Cougars because Zach Wilson loves Cougars.
Yep. So the total points for the Alabama and LSU game. Mm-mm-mm.
I put down 42.
You say 42. Mm-mm. I forgot that game was even happening this weekend. I'm excited. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna have to go higher than that. Just I will go 54. And the actual spread is 58.5, so we're both under.
Uh,
Gotta hit the save button. All right. So wow. A lot of fun stuff going on. I am surprised they didn't call this game in this pick'em. Any other year, this game would have been listed in the pick'em. I think, I believe that ESPN was being shady to leave out the Florida State and Notre Dame game, just like they left them out of the playoffs.
Well, the one state sucks.
So if you were picking a team, would you pick Notre Dame or for Florida State?
Of course I would.
Oh man, I was fixing to give you them. Yeah, I'm going with Notre Dame, fighting Irish all the way. All
Oh,
right. So man, if you guys like this content, please hit the like button and always subscribe. And what do you always say?
make sure you share because sharing is caring.
All right. Before we cut out, just remember this is week 10 and 11. Most of your leagues, pay attention, are stopping their trade. If you're in a redraft, get what you got to get done, get done. If you're in a dynasty, be cautious on the trades that are being offered to you. Don't make, watch what you do, pay attention, and make it for your team for the future or for the playoff run, whatever you're going for. Don't let other people dictate what you're going to do. And
Yeah,
have fun. That's the key thing out of all this is continue to have fun. So don't, like I said, don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next week. Can't wait to talk about what happens next week and get back onto this Patrick Mahomes game that is currently on. I don't even know the score because I accidentally closed the app out.
it is 7-3 Buccaneers.
Oh wow. Yeah, that ain't gonna last long.